Hey guys, how's it going? October 26, 2017, 9:17 p.m. Yeah, I got a little hung up there for a few minutes, but I'm here now, so it is time, as my header suggests. Man, I'm getting some nasty thumbs down lately. A lot of videos. What's the matter? Not enough choo-choos for you guys? Um, anyways. Like I said, I was having fun the other night just playing music and not even YouTubing. So I mean, I got 350 gigabytes now for some strange reason of data. I could probably stream my entire life if I really wanted to, but no. So let's just go ahead. And I might stream some other stuff. I got something else. I am going ahead for a second. I just want this game right here. I got yesterday, actually last night. I started downloading it after I did the stream because I wanted to prepare for my son and I, and yeah, we started playing it tonight, and this game is going to be one that him and I play for a while by the sounds of it. Very, very addictive. Has a lot of substance to it. Substance is the name of the game, however you pronounced it, but it's good. It's a graphic and everything, but it's a for those of you guys who like survival games, I'll probably do a live stream eventually. I want to get a server set up for myself and him, but and I have to go through a server. Unfortunately, I can't go locally for some strange reason, even though I have had other ones that did it okay. This one doesn't for some reason. At least I haven't figured it out yet. But anyways, whatever. I have to go all the way out to a server and then come back, which makes no sense. I can't. Fine. Steam thing. What can I say? Let's go. Let's get this on. So we got in the southeast. I'm literally just plopping this up. Back to the world we go. Hey. Now, the hump's not perfect. I'm sure the industries aren't perfect. None of it's perfect. I don't care. Did I already fill up the damn hump bowl again? Or no, that's receiving. Okay, good. Alright, that's what I want to make sure I know what the hell I'm doing. Blah. How many engines do I have lying around? I did bring them down. Okay, good. Make sure I got all the trains that arrived or that I think have arrived. So 602, 541, and 393. What's supposed to be in those? S409. This guy actually have an engine. Oh, that's just the hump engines. Well, let's see here. Wow, I got a whole crap load here. Blah, blah, blah. How do I want to start it and when and how? Oh, shoot. I gotta do another thing. I'll hold 652 somewhere too. Pull that in. Okay, he's coming this way, but he can stay there. Actually, no, I'm gonna have to redo him. Well, he's okay. L185. So 652, I'm gonna have to respawn out there. In fact, I'll do that now, just so that I remember. How the hell did I do? I can't remember how I did that. So I brought it through the crossover. So what I'll do is I'll launch another 652. I'll put it before the crossover. This will give us a good idea of, I think it should be a Callahan sub. Mixed freight. So what I'll do is I'll bring him over up to there, right to South Hillard, and then he can stop. Sound like a plan? Don't worry, I'll get the hump going in a minute, but I just want to make sure I get him cleared out of the way first. I already looked at this last night, so I'll clear him for a minute. Let him do his thing. Everybody else has stopped just because I want to get him back into a position of where he's at 12 o'clock. But I had to replace him. The other guys, of course, I don't have to worry about. But what I want to do, sorry, one more thing. Set him up to... Well, doesn't need to hold, but that doesn't matter. He's going to go to a stop signal anyway, so who cares? Okay. I gotta get these numbers down. So I'll go back. Make sure I spawn them in the right areas or whatever the hell they are, because then I gotta find the numbers. So 602, 541. There's one. So 602, I'll spawn behind that. 541. I'd spawn it right now, but I gotta get him. That's why I did that first. Let's see here what's in Bullen. Okay, here's where a lot of the filters have got to go in. I might as well put them all in. They're all tagged for industries. They're all set up. The filters, because they're coming in, have to include all the locals. This is going to take a while. We also want the Callahan. Where is this coming off of? This is coming off the Fitzgerald sub. So we don't want Fitzgerald sub, but everything else is okay. Including going back up the other way. It's fine. Everything but the Fitzgerald sub and the hump. I did Bullen. This is Bullen, right? Yes, okay. So again, wish there was a set all, but there isn't. Not the Fitzgerald sub. Not the hump. wonder if the filter shows. Yep, perfect. Okay. And this is to me the best thing about this upgrade. Some of you might be looking at this and saying, okay, well, what's the big deal, right? You're not having stuff going to Fitzgerald sub. What you're doing now is you're including bridge and local traffic, because everything that comes from the north is going to feed the local industries. And it's going to feed all of them. I'm not separating specific industries or anything like that. It's going to feed all of them. It could go to the Callahan sub. It could go, you know, either or. It doesn't matter. Might take a little while tonight to get it all going. Once I get things going, I'm gonna... Oops, not the Fitzgerald. Get some garbage in that. We'll wait and see how that goes. Man, I wish there was a select all, but there isn't. Not that I know of, anyways. Get the... There we go. Whew! Takes a while, but once it's in, at least this is more easier to do than what I had to do for hours last night just to get that all set up. But okay, last one for now. This kind of train I'm interested in seeing, and we're going to spawn that in a minute, and we will see what it looks like. Okay. All right, let me take a look again. So Q6541. Q541, I should say. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn this train. Do him first. I'm going to go down here and set this as #1 spot. Go over to Bolin. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of trains over time to get a good sense of data for these things. We'll take a look at it anyways, just to see. Got some 8771s, that's nice. Whoa. Look at all this stuff going to Brunswick. I don't like that. Not very random-like, if you ask me. Hopefully the volume's there, but wow, that's a lot for one train, really? For the Brunswick sub? I'm still... Oh, crap. Uh-oh. Okay, I gotta... Okay, hold on a second. Hold the phones. I just figured out what I did. This won't take long. Dang it. Goodbye. I know what I did wrong, and it's very easy to explain. Ah. Wow. Can I go in here while this is still on? Yeah, I can. Alright. So, what you're seeing, the reason why that happened... Oh, damn. How are we gonna do that? I've literally got to take 16 cars out of there. What happens is, because this is 1 hour, it's ramping up the capacity big time. So I've got, like, say, for example, now I'm gonna have to be like really dead specific, unfortunately, because what's gonna happen, I don't wanna. I can see why 0 might have caused an issue for some of these. What happens is the 24 does a thing, but I've got to get it down from whatever the hell it is at now, which is 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 30, 39, 46, 52. Down to about 4, but just to make it very simple, I'm just going to put it down to 1 each. And I'm going to do it for all of them. If we go over capacity a little bit, that's okay. Once this is in play, well, hopefully this works now, because this becomes a driver, but because the capacity was too high, it was causing issues. That's why I was like, why am I seeing so much for these other little small rinky-dink industries? I'm like, that doesn't make sense. So they're all going to call, and it doesn't matter where they're coming from. I don't care which ones they are, or if they're bigger, smaller. For now, I'm just doing that from now on. 799 is a different beast altogether. The other ones are okay. It's the ones that turn around that I've got to do, like Brunswick sub. They all have to go down. So if they happen to be more than 20 cars, no big deal. Yeah, but they have to be reasonable. That was just blowing everything out of proportion. So this is why we try these things out. So I'll probably get some more thumbs down for this, but you know, these things have to be tested. Let's see, Chatham's. Don't worry, we're getting to humping. I thought we were. I didn't expect that. Save. Grand Junction's another one. That's one of the bigger ones, but I'm still gonna keep it at 1. I want it nice and simple. If it doesn't call any, it doesn't call any. It's not a big deal. We should only get an odd car now and then, basically. And I was seeing like massive blocks on the train. I was like, what the hell's going on? This doesn't make sense. The other one coming from Florida isn't going to affect this because it's not an industry. Distribution, I think I'm okay now. Just taking a look one more time, going up. Manner. At least that randomizes those a little bit more. I think I got them all. Okay, what was the train I was doing? I can't remember. There we go. So spawn it again. So you notice how it's spreading out now? Now it's doing different industries. So there's a couple 771s there. That's okay. See, having 3, that's okay. There's a Brunswick, 2, 3, 4. 5 still quite high, but 100% sure about that. Five is still quite high, but sometimes too, I'm not too sure if the industry, it's saving itself, or you have to go back in and out and all the other garbage. Just take a look at this. Only 3 there, that's not too bad. Lots of acid cars. I don't think it's reset yet. All right. Let me save this and get out of it, and I'll come back in. So the world, I try it one more time, save overwrite, and get out of the simulation. We'll run it again. Looks like I might be staying up a little bit later than I wanted to, but it's okay. It's Friday. It's always good. Okay, so RTS will launch. I'm not worried about the one coming from the Callahan sub. That's not going to affect the industries. Okay. Okay, now let's just see what it looks like now. Glad to see those are saving. doesn't, well, that could be the random thing too, you know. So far, this is looking better. Well, I spoke too soon. It's only 2 acid cars that time, though. Then we go to 772. That's a better one. 1, 2, 3, 4, F. Still doing a lot for the Brunswick. That's a lot. Now, it blocks them in orders, so I guess that's the best we're going to be able to do for that. If it gets too much, it gets too much. Oh, wow, we got Brunswicks on this side, too. Oh, that's, okay. Wow, that's a huge... Looks like it. Okay. Well, we can get him in play. So we'll call this shift F1 now. Get going. Okay. Getting the hump set up. Just trying. Okay. So that's Q541. S409, that's on Bowen one or whatever. course, we're saving all the engines. Just looking for a few more. $393. Oh. Only one that came from Bowen? Really? There's another one. I don't see any other ones though. That's the auto train, which is fine. It can stay because it's just stuff that we don't really know what the hell we're doing with yet. So that's 500 or 491 to 600 series odds. That ain't gonna matter. Have any others coming from Bowen? I don't think so. Deal with that in a minute. Gotta get the other ones in here first. $545, that must be, oh, okay, I know where that is, I think. There was a 602. I thought I saw that earlier over here. That'll take care of this set of engines here. Yep. So 541, 602. So we can go ahead and spawn him. So you can see it has all the subdivision identifiers out front. I'll call this one shift 1 since we don't need the other one. Here this time. Now the reason why we're not spawning with the power is we already got power here, so why bother setting up our yard? I'm just going to take a look at the tags on this one. Just out of curiosity, see what it looks like. Oh, of course the Thomasville sub has a fair amount or whatever, but that's to be expected. Looking pretty good. Okay, what else do we got before I start humping? So I've done those. 393, where is that coming from? Okay. Okay, so there it is. So now, with this one, we're including all the locals again. And we'll keep including them until we start seeing an overload. If we start seeing an overload, then we'll start filtering some of these out and being a little bit more specific. So here, we don't want to have the S sub, which is stands for the Savannah sub, which is where it's eventually coming from. So that's all that, what that's for. So 393 is one of them. I'm not too sure if we have any more coming from Callahan. Now this feels good to get this set up and going now, even though it's already 9:54, but this wouldn't take too much long. There's only a few other trains that came in before noon anyways from before. And once you've identified, for example, what kind of train it is coming from, you can also work various trim tracks that you know that aren't going to get affected, which is always beneficial. S409 is another one that's in there, if I'm not mistaken. Doing a quick check, see if everything's set. Looks pretty good now. I think S409 was 1. Can't remember where I was just a minute ago. Oh, 393, okay. So I'll spawn him. Oh wow, that's a long ways away. Bother with the tags on this one. Well, I should take a look, I suppose. Who cares? Let's take a look. And more for Brunswick. Not bad. We'll see how it goes. If I have to toy around with the data a bit, or, you know, whatever, we'll figure it out. Again, the random number generator could be coming into play too, so... Which one's this? 393? Wasn't there. Where the hell was it? Was it this one? Okay, so we've dealt with that power. Now we can take a look at this one here, which I think is S409. Is that the last one? Is there, oh no, there was one more, but that's going the other way, I believe, too. Down here. S409 is it. Okay. OCN. We had that last time too. and the last one came up from Montgomery, I believe, 545. Why I had medium on that, that's wrong. Got that from. Oh well. So 545 is not going to have the Thomasville sub. This is the last one that I'm spawning in, and then I can get the hump operational. Yeah, I'm not too sure after all of this how it's gonna turn out, to be honest. The industries, I think, are being overloaded, or at least the locals going to the return loops. And I don't know if that has to do with the random numbers. Actually, they're a little bit high, I think, still. But, you know, it is what it is. It's like, yeah, it's quite a bit, actually. Okay. So I'll go ahead and spawn that in. In fact, I'll hump him first, if it lets me. I'll put him right behind the hump. That didn't have as much for Brunswick, so that's a good sign. Like I said, we'll just have to see how it goes. He did come from one, didn't he? Awesome. Okay, finally. Ready to rock and roll. It's been too long. Everything else is still stopped. It's been too long. Shaking is just me moving along. I think it's. You see, it's doing fine. Frames off a little bit. That's all. High noon with the shadows, maybe. I don't know. Not worried about it. Set to go. Set it up down at this end. So we got 5 trains to Hump. We'll fortunately probably peg off that one, but that's okay. Let's pretend to see that. Everything is set up according. Oops, let me take a look at the configuration. If we're missing anything, we'll figure it out. Okay, so he should be coming down. He's all set up okay. Okay, I'll let that slowly roll. Be too far away. I'm just gonna grab a drink and a small snack. I'll be right back. miles an hour is a little brutal. I don't know why I should have tried placing him a little bit closer, but wasn't thinking. I'll take a look here. Alright, wait, see. Oh boy. Oh, that's him right there. Okay, he's not too bad. Okay. We can handle that. I was thinking I can trim while I can hump, but actually, if I'm the one humping, no, I can't. So, anything else set? The 6 train is sitting out there. This guy here. So this should give us, once we get through all this, I don't know if we're going to get through all tonight. I want to do as much as I can. I want to avoid trimming if at all possible. I don't think I need to worry about that tonight, but we'll have to keep an eye open. But I want to avoid trimming if possible. And then I will have to check the schedule on Sunday, check to see what I think ski's out this. I'm not sure, but if not, I'll run anyways at some point, whether it be afternoon. I think it's supposed to be a washout this weekend here, so I'm probably going to be open to run anytime. We'll see. This thing's going well. That was closer than that. Foggy. So once things get going a little bit and things get back into the flow that I'm hoping for, then I'll worry about tweaking things. But for now, I think that's the last major changes I'm going to be making. If I find something data-wise is I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna. I wanted to, and I should. Well, we'll see what happens. I prefer to wait. The reporting ability is actually very powerful, as I've mentioned before, with the way Run8 is now. Okay, there, now I see him. He just crawling along behind those engines there. But it can export. If you have cars in place, you can basically export that data, and away you can go. You can create as much reports as you want out of it. So it's possible, at least in theory, to track all the receiving and then go through the data and see what the hump's like and what the receiving's like and what the average train is looking like and how much is being tagged for this and that. So you can really get into the data. That was the good thing about RTS was when we generated the train files, we also generated a data file. And I did that specifically so I could track and find trends that were taking place. It's going to be important to figure out the trends and try to figure out why it's happening. If it's random number generator issues, then there's nothing I can do about it, but I may be able to minimize the impact on it. Like, for example, if there's too much going to Brunswick sub, then I can split up the car types and only have certain car types show up so I can have it. But I gotta go through and figure out the probabilities still, but I'm not worried about that right now. This is about after this. It's just about getting trains set up, some locals running. We'll figure out the demand, supply and demand later on. So man, this thing is slow. I should by rights be throwing it at about 10 miles an hour and then setting the speed control. I don't know why I didn't do that. Wasting time. But if I was going to do that, I should have done that right away. Not now. I'm all set for the hump, so let it go. I just never realized how long 3 miles an hour takes just to get up to there. You know something? Forget it. I'm going to do it anyways. I'll regret it later. Take a look how this one looks, and then I might go in the next. Should have kept track of which one's what. That's another thing with the data that's good about. And eventually that's what's going to happen. It's all going to summarize what's in each track so that as hump operator I'm able to plan my operations ahead of time or during. It'll take a screenshot of where I'm at, then I can input data from there, and from there it's just a matter of running the sessions, because you're only running 3 hours, so you know what's relative to come in, but you're not going to bring a train in and hump it within the first 3 hours anyway. And even if you did, you'd see the data, because then you get the visual data. Oops, I'm going too fast now. I'm not too sure how well he'll coast down. Coast well from 10 from the crossover, or he's only at 9.8. Should lose some momentum. Some assistance here. Assistance. Yeah, well, it's 3.1. I'll live with it. Couple different car types going to Syracuse. Empty. That hurts. Selkirk. That I like to see. That looks good. Oh, come on. Man, they gotta fix this. He was supposed to go to Selkirk. I don't know if it's that one. He was supposed to go down 55. Yeah, well, this is getting really annoying. Like, if there's a certain speed that I'm supposed to go, let me know what the hell the damn speed is. But this, I mean, this happened right at the freaking beginning, and I'm not too sure why it happened on that particular car. Gotta turn the auto pin puller off too. That's just annoying. I mean, does anybody test? I mean, I hate to say this, but does anybody test this? Like, really test it? Like, I was excited that we didn't get to the little shorty ones. If I have to hump at 2 miles an hour, I will. Maybe I'll try 2.5. Maybe it's going too fast. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I heard 3 and handled 3, so I did 3. I tried 2.5. I heard something about 2.6 or 2.7 or some crazy thing the other day. I don't know what the hell that meant. I'm gonna try 2 miles an hour. I mean, it slows it down, but if it prevents this garbage, then it's worth it. At least I was able to save it. heard something was going to be fixed next update or something. Being able to access the manual switches for one. Still, we shouldn't have to do this. I don't know what's too fast or too slow, or it was happening with the little shorty cars. I haven't seen it happen with the center beams or the regular hoppers for that matter. I mean, if it has to do with the stupid ass grouping thing, forget the grouping. I don't know. I just don't know what it is. And I find, to Selkirk's defense, I find it happens more on this route per train. Not by particular car types, or like, I mean, there's all kinds of different car types that would screw up Selkirk. But, just weird. I shouldn't have to babysit. I really should. I was gonna get my garbage or whatever all figured out. And leave it alone, and then that thing would have beeped. I was able to pump the 2 Syracuse cars so far. Whoop-de-doo. So much for getting all this done tonight. Very disappointing for all that work. Yeah, sometimes there's other programs that just seem to be more appealing. Good as this is. Guess we just have to live. Thank you. Let's assume there's no other problems. Hump. Doesn't appear to be. Oh, that's Rocky Mount. I was wondering what RMT was anyways. Selkirk, Rocky Mount, Newport, Hamlet, Lawrence, Cumberland, Nashville, Evansville, Corbin, Cincinnati, Chicago. See, all that looks pretty even distribution, which is good. Types I'm not too worried about to begin with anyways. New Orleans is going to have more, which makes sense. I think going down that way should, because there's only so many. Shorty hopper. Oh, that's just think I had ballast toppers. Really? I might probably screwed up on it. Yeah, we'll fix it. Hopefully. Alright, so we'll set it at 2 miles an hour, hopefully. I can't see it, how the hell it would have got screwed up. It's just weird. Alright, we'll try 2. Boring 2 miles an hour. If it screws up on this, then I'll give up. Because I ain't playing with this all night. Never know. Good enough. Yeah, I don't mind going a little bit slower if it prevents issues. I don't know. Let's see. Why is it showing it at 2.5? Speed is at 2. Well, looks like it's doing okay now. Oh. doing some odd variations of the speed of the cars. And this too looks slow. That's pretty cool. Seeing the groups of threes again. I haven't seen that in a while, which is interesting. Now you got the bridge traffic coming. Makes it interesting. Be even more interesting to see what kind of trains come out of these once they all assemble. Kind of odd because when you look at it, you got they came with the acid cars, but it didn't really bring anything else. Actually, no, there's a tank and 2 acid, I think. Interesting how it does a hopper in a center. I may just hump the one train. Leaves an opening for Sunday. Let's hump the other 4 trains and then I'm caught up again. So far I didn't like it, or didn't mind it this time, so maybe I just had to slow it down a bit. Maybe I'll fish around for a happy medium. I thought I heard something on the forums like 2.6 or 7 seems to work or something. Yeah, I can certainly try to push it, but I feel like pushing it tonight. But we'll see. Maybe I'll put that to you guys if you're watching a live stream. Post on my forum. Let me know what you think. I might even post a forum message. If not tonight, maybe tomorrow afternoon, just to see what people think. Because there was a time where 2 miles an hour used to be the limit. And then I heard it went up to 3. But since, I think, somewhere in around version 2, somewhere, it just started doing this weird stuff with the hump controller failing. Not so much in Barstow. I don't remember in Barstow. The first time I remember it happening was Selkirk, that I recall. So maybe it's just a Selkirk and a Florida issue. Could be. I mean, this is a very complicated yard, so it can happen. So this particular train is sending all kinds of traffic everywhere except back to where it came from. And every other train does that now. Everything is already set or filtered and set to do that, so it should work okay. Now we're getting into the empties compacted. Okay, you're ready. are looking good. What is that? $750. You know what that is? Oh well, we'll figure that out later. I guess I'd have ballast hopper for that. 766. That's right, we don't have the units set up. How spread out that is. That looks. Getting into the. Okay. Let's see where we're almost done. Yeah, I'd like to. I want to keep going, but sun sometimes. Possibly do one more. Debating on it. I don't know what the rate is at 2 miles an hour to half an hour, maybe 45 minutes from beginning to end. Shoving it all down the hump and in the power forward. Kind of curious. Give it a theory test. I could try upping the speed to 2.5. But I was going 3.1, so I was pushing. Yeah, it looks really cool spread out. Sleep in on Sundays. That's how it works. Look at that. So we got a little bit. One of the locals. Not sure which one that is. Oh, that's it hasn't done everything, obviously. Again, if the weight's too high on one end or the random number's off a little bit, then be happening, but it is spread out pretty good. I think I got about 60 active. Not within range. Let's take a quick look at how many are active. So, not counting 32, which is out. Oh, I can't do it. Even if I was to say 60, although I'm probably pretty certain we're even below that. I'm looking right now at that much. Even count the slough as part of it. This one went down there. Yeah, 25 so far. Again, if the weight is high for certain ones, just the way it's gonna go. And thus the dilemma begins, because if the weight is off a little bit, then you may never see it, especially if the random numbers are off, or Trying to get this wheel mount right on it. It's a little too sensitive. There you go. Even if the locals are the ones that are going to suffer for now because of it, I can still straighten it out eventually. Find the main lines are getting too heavy or too much traffic. So what's going to happen next? I think I'm just going to do this tonight and that's it. It's just getting, I'd rather have a good night's sleep tonight, because usually with this game, the other game that we got, we're probably going to be up at least till midnight tomorrow night, even though we have to get up at 8. So I'm going to want to have a good night's sleep. So and honestly, you know, this alone would bore me after a while. It honestly would. I mean, I've seen it before, so it was like, it's great to see it going again. And then I get the 4 into there. When I start working the yard and having and being able to go out there and watch other meets take place and still be able to dispatch and other things, then it gets interesting. 2 miles an hour is slow. Remember, we used to do it though. Other bell. That one's going 7.9. 30. That looks cool. $7.80. Oh, well, we'll figure. So the plan moving forward now is I'm going to run the Hump. I've got 4 trains to get through before I can start running my test sessions again. As I'm doing that, or somewhere around that time, probably next week, I'm going to start going through doing the data for the various yards, have that control system in place. I'm still looking for a very late fall start to go back to public. But everything's fine. I'm not worried about any variances that are off for locals and stuff like that. I'll figure that out eventually. What I'll do then is I'll see if there's any particular input or certain things. Remember, I'm using 2003 data of a TD3 schedule, which kind of fits the, holy crap, that's a lot of slough. Well, that's an interesting one. I'll have to figure out what's going on with 784. I'm not even sure what that is. But whatever. But then, yeah, we'll figure it out. And it's, you know, I can tell I'm tired because I'm having a hard time getting two words together here. But yeah, once we get that going, should be okay. I can go back. I'll probably eventually head into some old back older PDF, not PDF, HTML files for bullshit, because that's going to have a lot of the, you know, more trusted data, I would say. Not necessarily accurate, but definitely trusted, because a lot of times with CSX, they, you know, they'll take varying routes and stuff like that. I'll also look at trying to figure out if some of the trains are getting, if any of the trains are getting too big, they will be shortened. Demand will be shortened. I might not do it right away, but if I notice a trend's going that way, then I'll do it. Likewise, if there's not enough locals. But there's really nothing much I can do with the locals. Because if I expand it too much, then the potential for it to get heavier than anticipated is going to be stronger. You can't just, you know, you turn one and then suddenly not only will you affect the other, but you'll wind up affecting yourself, because some of those locals that aren't hitting right now, and there's a few of them, they're very small numbers. And this is only one train, where the first 12 hours is 4 more, but then there'll be other trains coming in, so... Well, I'm seeing 10 and 11 now, so it's getting down there. It's somewhat encouraging. Well, 11 was Brunswick. Nice to be seeing. I thought I saw some empties coming. I thought there was center, which could be a mistake, because there shouldn't be any empty center beams. Not from this direction. I saw somewhere. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's all kinds. Where's that coming from? Is he from Syracuse? Cumberland? I'll have to check those later. That's a little strange. Tell me I screwed all those up. I shouldn't have. But you never know. I might have. It's been known to happen before. That's right. Oh. Yeah, loads to Miami. Oh no, that's empty. It's going back to Syracuse. I'm sorry. My bad. Yeah, empty's going back to Syracuse makes sense. Empty's going north makes sense. So we're okay. Down to 4 cars. Spread out pretty. Nice. No, key there is do not relinquish it right away. Is it gonna go into the other ladder? One of them should. So I thought. Maybe not. Before you can even relinquish that train. I mean, sending it AI, you have to make sure everything is in its last track. Now, I'm not sending it back right now, but it's down. See, I can't even save that actually. I could send it down. Time it slows down or track. Okay, so now glad I'm going to bed because, man, it's falling asleep here. So let me see how many tracks we started dealing with. 7, 9, 13, 14, 15, 16. 20, 21, 2, 3, 20. 30 tracks, not bad. About half. Which kind of is to be expected, I would imagine. Why not? There's probably less than 60 available now that I think about it, so yeah, that did pretty good. Again, there's a few that's gonna not get much, unfortunately, and yeah, we'll deal with it. But yeah, see if I quit and don't save, it'll stop the train. Oh boy. Two, that's next. Oh, actually, I don't think I can do 2. I gotta do 3. Oh. No. Acting. Be able to. Yeah, they got a long ways to go, huh? I think everything else is stopped but that one car because it's the first of whatever. CFF. Is that Slough? Okay, I thought there was more than one in Slough for some reason. Wow. Good. So yeah, we'll just go with the data that's in play right now. Play it through, analyze, adapt later on. I mean, the in-between stuff that's going to be happening is getting the yards, the industries, all of them capable of, one, the industry is capable of all turning around terrain quickly, and to have the actual reporting in place, which means I have to create industries for in single player outside of the world save. I gotta create industries for all of that, so all 60 some odd tracks in the bowl, you know, all 12 or so, whatever it is, receiving tracks. It'd be fun, but of course that's not going to be dependent excuse me, on running sessions or not. I just have to do more careful planning. In this case, I can take a look at this right now and say, okay, we're, you know, probably good to hump all 5 trains without having any issues with trims, which is a good sign. That's exactly what we want. Was that the last guy that just stopped right there? That's it. So he's still running. So yeah, he's a long ways to go. You know something? I'm tired. So we'll figure it out again. Okay. Magnus. Doesn't matter. Okay. That's it for tonight. Gotta get some sleep. So I'll be back on Sunday at some point and get the rest of these humps done and hopefully start running some trains back on a regular schedule. So we'll see how it goes. Anyways, that's it for now. We'll talk to you on Sunday. Take care.